Well, structure. You need structure. If you don't have the structure, you're always gonna fall short. You're always gonna fail. Good morning, guys. It is 4:32 in the morning, and I'm just walk you guys real quick. I want to make this video and walk you guys real quick through like how my morning routine works and how I am staying focused by pri- prioritizing my morning routine, even though I have a job that I got to attend to, even though I'm trying to build this business, even though I got to go to the gym, and even though I got all the other things in life that have to get done. So I prioritize my morning routine, and my morning routine is a direct reflection of my personal development and a direct reflection of me trying to build my business. Um, so the first thing I do when I wake up in the morning, obviously after brushing my teeth and all that, is I come downstairs and I write down in my journal a prayer. Before I used to just say the prayer in my head and but I found out that sometimes with a little chaos, forget, but now I made it a habit to write it down on my notebook of prayer. And then after I'm done writing down my prayer, I get on I get on the floor and I get my push-ups in. I get my push-ups. Yesterday I did chest. So on the days where like my chest is demolished or my shoulders are demolished, I'll do 50. On the days where my chest is feeling pretty good, my shoulders aren't bothering me, I aim for 100, and I post it up on my social media on Instagram. And then once I'm done doing that, I come back to my journal and I write down a journal page, basically with intention, not just write anything down. I write it down with intention, basically about anything, but with intention, how things are going right now, what could improve, what I should be focusing on, what my energy should be on. If I fell short on something, why did I fall short on it? How can I make it better? It's basically I write things so I can self reflect. Um, it helps me tremendously be able to self reflect and figure out a game plan on how the day's gonna go and figure out a game plan on how I could keep improving, right? After I'm done doing that, I go upstairs, make myself some coffee, and I plug in my headphones and I listen to Jim Rohn, one of the videos of Jim Rohn, and I get the knowledge. If you don't know who Jim Rohn is, really suggest you guys go watch and listen to some of his words because his words are very, very powerful, and he's a very, very intelligent man, even though he's passed away now. But his wisdom goes beyond years, and I listen to him every morning. I lock in. Sometimes I pick up something and I come back and I write it on my journal. Now, after I'm done doing that, I make myself some breakfast and I go over 6 a.m. I go and I do 30 minutes of cardio on the days that I work out because I work out in the afternoon now. I changed my workout schedule. So now I do cardio in the morning and work out in the afternoon. On the days that it is a workout day, I do 30 minutes of cardio. On the rest days, I do 1 hour of cardio at 6 a.m. Um, and it aligns perfect on the days that I don't have to go into work, into my job. Um, I don't go in till 10, but I'll be going in at 9. So that gives me plenty of time in the morning. I wake up at 4:30 in the morning. It gives me plenty of time in the morning. So I have to rush. Plus, I got to drive an hour to get there. So everybody puts out these excuses. Meanwhile, they don't have to drive that far from work. They're not trying to build a business. They're just trying to get in shape and keep working. Well, structure. You need structure. If you don't have the structure, you're always gonna fall short. You're always gonna fail, and you're gonna be so disappointed in the fact that you're failing, always falling short, that you're always gonna give up. You don't know why, and it's because you don't have no structure. Once you have the structure, how is your morning gonna go? What are you gonna do that first hour in the morning? What are you gonna do the second hour in the morning? What are you gonna do the third hour in the morning? Because those first 3, 4, 5 hours are the most important hours of your day before the chaos starts. Once I hit the road to go to work, I know chaos starts. And I know that anything could happen because I'm getting calls, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. The other thing that I do though, on my way to work, I keep my phone on do not disturb. So I'm not getting calls no more after I started doing this. So I put my phone on do not disturb, and on my way to work I listen to an audiobook. Before I used to read, and I want to get back into reading once I get more time from, like, I would go full time with creating this business. But for now, I plug in on my Apple CarPlay, and I put a book. I listen to a book on the whole ride. I have to drive like an hour to work, so that's an hour that I could dedicate to a book every single day. And then on the days that I don't work, I put the book on my way to the gym, and allows me to knock out a couple chapters of the book. Like right now I'm listening to Atomic Habits, and it's like, wow, like I'm basically almost done with it, and I just started like 6 days ago listening to it, from just listening to it while I'm driving to work and listening to it while I'm driving to the gym. I don't try to overwhelm myself with a whole bunch of shit that doesn't move the needle. I focus on things that are gonna move the needle. I'm trying to get in the best shape of my life. A couple tasks that move the needle towards that. I'm trying to develop my mindset. A couple, 2 to 3 tasks that move the needle to that. I'm trying to build my business. 2 to 3 tasks that move the needle to that, because we're always gonna have 2 to 3 major tasks that are actually gonna matter, and then there's gonna be 4 or 5 other tasks that don't matter at all. They don't move the needle. You just feel busy, but you're not getting shit done. All right. So I'm gonna lock in my morning prayer, and I'm gonna start my morning routine, and then I'm gonna see you guys when it's time to make. But I'll record this real quick, and then I'm gonna put my headphones in to my personal development and lock in and make my breakfast. Breakfast is simple. I basically have the same breakfast every day. Right now I'm looking to have a little bit more fat to lose before I get to where how I want to get. But breakfast is pretty simple. I have one slice of sourdough bread with some egg whites and some regular eggs. I'll have 2 eggs. I like to fry them. Taste amazing. I like the yolk to be a little, um, you know, a little loose, and then I do 16 tablespoons of egg whites. I do try to go for the organic pasture raised egg whites, but they ran out, so I'm gonna use this, and then I'm gonna top it off with that. For the butter, I like using plant milk butter. I try to use as less dairy as I possibly can, because it just makes me break out a lot. So I'm using plant butter. I don't really use much. That's probably all I'll use. That um and I'll make my whole breakfast with that. So I count it as half a tablespoon. So I'm allowed to use half a tablespoon. And then I just track my meal in my fitness pal. And I try to do the same thing for my lunch. I track it. But I meal prep my lunch and my dinner, so I don't have to be cooking all the time. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead, make coffee first, then I'm gonna make my breakfast, and I'm gonna lock in my personal development, and I'm gonna talk to you guys later when it's time to go to the gym. And these, you see, it has the Lucio. This is for me. That's how I like it. I forgot to add the fact that I also eat half avocado. That is what I eat every day, consistently, every day. Sometimes with the sourdough bread, sometimes without the sourdough bread. Sometimes I throw onions in there, sometimes I don't. And this is consistently, and not because of any specific reason. It's because I generally just like it. Meals should be something that you like. If you don't like it, it's not gonna be sustainable for you. So find meals that you like and you enjoy. Today I'm supposed to work out arms, but that's gonna be later on in the afternoon. Right now I gotta go and do cardio. 30 minutes of cardio, and then I gotta lock in on my business and try to build this program that I'm building out for you guys. So that's what I'm about to do. I'm about to go do cardio, 30 minutes on the treadmill, incline. I'm not really gonna record because it's like a small space in the little cardio room that they got here. Um
So yeah, it was just I'm gonna put the incline at 15. I'm gonna go back and forth between 7 and 8 and 15 incline at a speed of 3 miles per hour to 3.5 miles per hour. And do that for 30 minutes. And then I'm gonna come back here, shower, lock into my business, and I'm gonna go to the gym later around 12 after I eat lunch. All right. I just wrapped up cardio, and this is the second time I'm recording this part of the video because I'm recording this on my iPhone and it just got filled with storage, and it's so annoying. But anyways, I was gonna go to the gym later on around 12 and record a workout session, but I kind of didn't want to make this video that long. I wanted to focus more on providing the value than making the video as long as possible. I got arms and abs today, and there's only so many workouts that you can do for arms and abs. I do have pretty well developed triceps already. I got to focus a little bit more on biceps, but it's very simple when it comes to the workout. Pick very effective workouts for each body part that you enjoy doing and go fucking hard on those exercises. Because if you don't enjoy the exercise that you're doing, you're not gonna look forward to going to the gym. And then when it comes to the cardio, don't focus so much on which machine you should use, or how many calories does the machine say you're burning. Focus on picking a machine that you enjoy doing and you could output the most amount of watts out. Because if you times the amount of watts times 3.6, that gives you your amount of calories that you burn. So for example, with my workout, I output 80 watts. I output 80 watts times 3.6 is about 288 calories, I think. And the machine said that I burned like around 295 calories, something like that. But it was off by a bit. It was pretty accurate, but it was off by a bit. But that's pretty much the cheat sheet. See what machine you could output the most watts on. Don't look at the calories going in the machine. Look at the watts and see what amount of watts you could output the most. Because if you times that, for example, if you see the machine you're outputting 165. If you're at an incline in the treadmill at 15, going three speed, or 3.5, you're outputting like 165, 180 watts. That's per hour. So if you only did 30 minutes, half of that times 3.6. Or you could just do that amount times 3.6 and just divide it by 2. But yeah, I figured like I'm not a giant. Yeah, I literally just started this YouTube channel. I'm not a giant, one of the giants like the Jesse James, the Will Tennysons, the Alex Eubanks, to be out here putting workout videos and doing this. I just want to provide the most value as I can to help you guys in the journey, because there's no point of me saying go to the gym, work out, and show you guys me working out and hope you guys get motivated to work out. That might work for a few, but for most, it's not gonna work. You gotta be able to develop the mindset. You gotta be able to set the structure in your life. You have to be able to have the right habits in order for you to go to the gym and get your workout in and be the person that just goes to the gym is second nature to them. They don't look at it like a burden. They look forward to it. Um and they look forward to eating healthy. And once you develop the mind, you start realizing that you are worthy. You are worthy of having that physique. You are worthy of being the most disciplined motherfucker in the room. You are worthy of having motherfuckers look at you and say, damn, I wish I was as disciplined as you. Oh, I don't have the results because I lack your discipline. You want to be the person that is spoken to like that. I remember me when I was like first started into fitness and all this stuff, and didn't know shit about nutrition. And I would go to the gym, and I didn't. Yes, I looked like I went to the gym because I had pretty big arms, but I had a gut. I didn't know shit about nutrition, so I never got ripped. And then when I started learning about nutrition, I got ripped. But then when I started learning about the mindset, last year was all about personal development. And the more personal development I was doing, the more better I started developing myself, the more temptations it seemed like I was getting. Last year, I lost my father, and although I had made the most personal development first time I ever learned about personal development was last year. And I was doing all the personal development, and then when my father passed away, it was like a temptation by the devil. to set me back. And just the other day, my boy died. My very good friend died in a motorcycle accident. And it seems like the devil's like, oh no, I don't want you to. I want you to fall back down and start from zero. But luckily, it's like I already did the personal development to learn that life goes on. When my father passed away, I went right back to the vices. I started drinking. I started smoking. I started looking for things to do to feel my pain, I guess. And I just fell off completely. I fell off on my business. I fell off on my results. I gained like 20 pounds. And now my boy just died. And it seems like the devil's trying to throw temptations at my way. But I'm at the point where I'm so self-developed, and my personal development is way more superior than that. That I realized that I still have a job to do. I still have to lock in. I can't let life goes on. Yes, may he rest in peace. Yes, pay my respects. But life goes on. Life doesn't stop for nobody. Once I started like doing the personal development, I learned that my passion, I always thought my passion is work, fitness and working out and work and body, but like if that was my passion, I would be in bodybuilding shows right now. My true passion is, yes, working out, but helping other people get in just as good shape as me, as better shape as me, and in better shape as me. And not just that, but also helping them develop their mind. Because once you start speaking to, like, I spoke to some of my clients, and once you start speaking to them about the stuff that you start learning when it comes to the personal development, the mindset, the habits, how thinking that you deserve it on the weekend to go out and drink and be a total degenerate really is just putting you back. And you start explaining them through the process on their unique stories. That's what motivates me to wake up every morning. That's what I want to build. I want to be able to say I've helped as many people as I possibly could, and I did the best job I possibly could at it. I want to be able to have the freedom of being up in a New Hampshire mountain in the middle of winter when there's just covering snow and just locking in working with a hoodie on. That's my passion, working and helping clients, getting on those client calls and just speaking the knowledge and helping them through the journey, helping them develop their program and helping them through conquering their mindsets and their habits. When it comes to the habits, we all have had, and probably some of you guys still have had, the thought of I deserve to go out on the weekend. I stuck to my macros all week. I went to the gym all week. I deserve to go out on the weekend and have fun. But you don't realize that all that work that you put through in the week, you're undoing it on the weekend by over consuming all those calories from that liquor. And you don't realize that the more alcohol you consume, the less fat burning ability your body has. So, yes, you put in the work during the week, but you're undoing all the work in 2 days. And that's what most people go to the gym and they don't look like they go to the gym. Most people work hard and they think they deserve that little break on the weekend to be a total degenerate, and then they stay in the same cycle, and it repeats itself. It repeats itself. And it isn't until you become aware of your habits and what you're doing and what's leading you to want to do that, whether it is that you're looking for um approval, you're looking for to hide your insecurities, or be liked by others, or chasing bitches, trying to find the what bitches you gonna be fucking on the weekend. Whatever it is, it's not leading you towards the person you want to become. So if it's not leading you towards the person you want to become in the long run, because in the short run, it sounds good, like, oh hell yeah, let's go have some fun. But in the long term, imagine 10 when you're in your 30s, when you're in your 40s, and you're still doing the same thing and you're not seeing results. When I was growing, when I was like 16, 17, I was around people that was like 25, 28, 30s, 35. And these people were doing the same thing I was doing, 15, 16, 17. And now I look and I have no idea what happened to these people, but now I wonder, are they still doing the same thing? Are they dead? Are they in jail? I don't know, but most likely. It's like, how long will you self-sabotage yourself and not reach your full potential because you're getting in your own way? Because you care more about the dopamine that you feel right now than knowing that your future is going to be good because you're becoming the man that you want to be. Your fitness is being, your health is being prioritized. Your mental health is being prioritized. Your personal development is being prioritized. And that goes way beyond fitness and health. That goes into your business, that goes into your job, that goes whether it is that you're trying to climb the corporate ladder, whether it is that you're trying to build a business. If you don't have the proper personal development, if you don't have the proper habits and the structure in your day to sustain those habits without it feeling, without it wearing you out or feeling overwhelmed, then you're never going to get there. You are never going to get there. And if you're the type of person that rather feel short-term dopamine, short-term pleasure, you are the type of person that needs to do the most personal development. You are the type of person that needs to do the most personal development because you are trying to cover up some pain that most likely you not are aware of or aren't aware of. Like, for example, when my father passed away, I was drinking, I was smoking. What was I covering up that I wasn't aware of? The pain of losing my father, the pain of not being able to have him see that his son made something of himself, that I didn't become a bum, not being able to retire him and give him a fucking a Wrangler that I wanted to give him in DR. All those thoughts, all that pain of what I didn't get to do for my father, the that what he didn't get to see me become, all that pain I was masking it by drinking, by smoking, by saying fuck it, I don't want to do that shit. But it wasn't until I became self-aware of what I was doing and I noticed the habits that I was doing that was leading me towards the path of destruction. And I decided to take the action because if you don't take action, you're wasting your time learning. There's no, if you are the type of person that just wants to learn, and never takes action, you shouldn't be watching this video. You shouldn't be doing anything. You should just basically not doing any, don't even bother learning because knowledge without action is worthless. So it wasn't until I started locking back in on my personal development because I knew that I was fucked up. I knew that my habits were fucked up. I knew the amount of pain that I had in my heart was leading me towards a path of destruction. And I decided to change the habits, work on my personal development again, develop my mindset. Know that instead of saying I didn't get to do this for him, now I get to say he didn't die in vain. I'm gonna do this shit for him because he passed away. I'm gonna do this shit for him, and I'm gonna make sure that his family, his offspring that he left behind is set for life because that's what he would have wanted. And I know for a fact. So yeah, guys, I'm gonna leave this shit there. Hopefully you guys could find some value from my video. If you guys watched all the way through, really, really grateful. Please drop a comment, drop a like, subscribe if you guys found some type of knowledge. You want to keep seeing videos like this. And yeah, guys, please take action. Please take action. Please, yes, follow me on my journey and build your own journey along with me, but take action because words and knowledge without action is worthless. Please take action, okay? See you guys in the next one.